Okay, recording this video after close of trade Tuesday, 30th of August 2011. Hope you had a good day trading today. Quite interesting today. We've had a long-legged doji pattern here. Doji is where the open and close is very close together. Long-legged because the highs and the lows are quite extended above that kind of central pattern, and that indicates indecision in the market. And I think it's an important kind of point. Could have a little bit of a turning point. I'll show you what's happening on better sine wave. All of the charts, whole bunch of markets, risk-on markets particularly, are showing that this last kind of move up is kind of low volume up bars into cyclical turning points. So let me just show you on the indices, for example. So this is Dow. We're coming up to a cyclical turning point on better sine wave. Now this is going to be a pullback and a downtrend because we're below the last kind of signal on better sine wave was a cyclical support here. So this is going to be a pullback and a downtrend. You know, on the Dow, it's basically showing that we're still in a downtrend. And you can see the last couple of days, this is just using better volume here. You can see we've had very low volumes kind of coming into this rise. So typically when I see that on a day trading chart, that's a kind of you know, a good signal to kind of continue with the downtrends. This will be pullback and a downtrend when we get kind of price confirmation on that chart. Nasdaq, same thing, coming into a cyclical turn below support. So pullback and a downtrend, test the lows, and again you can see the last 3 or 4 days been extremely light volume here on Nasdaq. S&P 500, again last couple of days extremely light volume. There's this turning point. Now on the S&P, this is has been a cyclical support area here, so this is just going to be a normal kind of cyclical pattern there. And then Russell we don't have volume data, but again we're below cyclical support, coming up maybe a day away from that cyclical turning point. So just watch out over the next couple of days, and that long-legged doji is just showing that there's kind of indecision in the market, and we certainly had a bit of a rush for the doors at the end of today. In terms of better X trend, again same deal here. Here's you know, the trailing stop. Said we might kind of just play around there or poke through it. We've closed below it still, so it's still in place. 12.15 kind of critical level there in terms of closing values. So you know, let's wait. I mean, is this a gap and go? So you know, kind of extreme buying here at this point as we've made a low on the Monday, and we kind of gap above as a breakaway type move and kind of just keep on going to the upside, or do we kind of run out of steam, close the gap, and maybe see a testing down type move? Because that was kind of Monday's activity. I mean, you can interpret this a couple of different ways. You know, Monday hurricane affected, extremely light volume, not a lot of, you know, maybe a lot of kind of New York kind of traders weren't around. But you know, the professionals can use that as an opportunity to kind of move the market at low cost to them in a particular direction they want. Or does it show that you know, it just means there's not a lot of kind of institutional type following of the move, professional following of the move, and we just kind of collapse and test the other way? I think you can interpret it either way. Just wait and see. I mean, if we're kind of starting to test the lows or break through today's lows, I would suggest that you know, we're going to be testing down. And then again, same type of pattern on the risk-on type trades. This is crude. Last couple of days, kind of amateur up bars coming into this cyclical turning point here. Aussie dollar, same deal, amateur up bars, cyclical. We've shot past the cyclical turning point. Extremely weak buying on better momentum here. Euro, same thing, no demand, Rambo pattern on Monday. Basically the currency's been just going nowhere for the last 3 months, so we're stuck in this absolute channel, dollar index, euro, and so on. The only activity really has been in sell-off in Swiss franc, and you know, a little bit more activity in the Aussie dollar, but we're really in a channel here in terms of dollar index and euro, so it's just waiting to figure out which way to go. So you know, you can see that better momentum's kind of conflicted here with all these kind of bullish and bearish divergent signals right by the zero line. We'll break into a trend move at some point, and it'll be a strong one. Just a question of which way it's going to break. But anyway, we've had this cyclical turn, kind of, you know, not a lot of demand up here, amateur up bars at those points, and then here's copper, same deal, couple of amateur up bars, couple of days away maybe from this turning point. But so just be aware of that's kind of lining up. In terms of tick charts, day trading tick charts, you can see today's activity. Really, you know, the last few days has been, you know, strong uptrend that's kind of been finishing, trying to play itself out with these exhaustion kind of buying moves. And with today's activity, you can see, this peak into 1210 and then into 1218, all these blue professional bars, exhaustion buying at this point. We test back down into Rambo patterns, amateur activity, kind of selling here, expecting the market to break into a downtrend. We get held by cyclical support, continue to break up here. And then we break into Rambo patterns, kind of going the other way. So these are amateurs kind of getting wrong-footed the wrong way, and right at the end of the day, the professionals kind of step in above 1210, 1215, take profits, and that's flushing out the last of the buyers at that point. And this is this kind of rush for the doors that we had. Probably FOMC kind of related, but I wasn't trading kind of that late the day. The nice kind of setup that I had kind of going short was just before the consumer confidence number at 9 a.m. We'd come into this cyclical turning point, weak buying professional bars at this point on the 4500 tip bar chart, so potential kind of turning point there. When we look at that on the 1500 tip bar chart, after the open here we were coming into these blue professional bars, extreme buying right up the highs up there 1206, and then we had this beautiful little bearish divergence pattern right on the 0 line here, just showing really weak buying at that point. I got short 325 just around here, just before the news release. I'll tag on the videos. I'm pretty, I don't know what the word is, dumb to have been taking a trade before the consumer confidence, but everything was lining up for this kind of setup. And then on the 500 tip bar chart, you can see here, so coming into that 1206, all these blue professional bars, we tested back up here, amateur testing, flush patterns, bearish divergence, and here we had another flush signal right at this kind of turning point here, coming into this point, bearish divergence at this point here, and that was the release, 9 a.m. release of those consumer confidence numbers. Bang. I just got taken out in a flash on my target, so that was kind of nice, and then picked up another 2 on the way down here. The move was signaled nicely. First of all, the bottom of the day was signaled with end of trend kind of down here. After that consumer confidence number, we keep on going, have our exhaustion. So this is the initial kind of sell-off here, with exhaustion selling at this point. Then we kind of finish off. This is the last of the sellers selling, with exhaustion selling at the end of the move, kind of down here. We form a bullish divergence pattern right close to the end of trend signal, and then bang, that's the first kind of leg up. We test up, and then we test down into 96s again, and then you see the professionals come in and step it up. So they're convinced that that's the bottom's in. We kind of have these kind of amateur up bars into Rambo patterns, come down, the amateurs making mistakes again, trying to go short at this kind of breakout. The professionals step in right away at this support level at 96, bang, they pick it up, and then we're away. And you can see it on the 1500 tip bar chart, that sequence here. So the first left shoulder being made by the end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart, kind of down here at exhaustion selling, come into a pullback and a downtrend. The final kind of test back down here, all these amateur bars you can see testing into that end of trend just printed there, and then the market's away. So that was kind of a nice sequence. I was out for 4.25. Actually didn't feel like trading very much, so I quit after 3 trades. I had one losing trade to start with, and then picked it up, stopped after 4.25, and that was done by just after 9 a.m. so I was happy with that. And I'll tag on those day trades. So just be aware we've got a cyclical turning point kind of lining up a whole bunch of markets today, tomorrow, or the next day. We got very little kind of participation because of the low volume kind of up bars into this move. So we could be seeing a turning point that'll lead to a test down to the lows. So I hope your trading went well today. Just gone short 1203 even, and the reason for getting short, just coming to exhaustion, buying on the 500 tip bar chart, followed by bearish divergence pattern here, and we just kind of poked above this cyclical resistance level. Same thing on the 1500 tip bar chart. A little bit early in terms of this turn on the 45. Just wonder if we're going to test back up at this cyclical support here. Probably should be waiting for this cyclical swing on the 500, which will probably coincide with this. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's see, just short 1203 even then. Just a minute later we had a flush signal kind of come in here. It's kind of good. This support though is still holding. Need to crack 1202. coming back up to this cyclical resistance wherever we make that. So just under a little bit of pressure here. Just out at 475. Loss of 1 3/4. Just holding around this breakout level too much. So don't think I've got this right. I have to wait for a better entry. Gone short at 325. And checking my stops and targets here. Jumping the gun a little bit. We've got this cyclical turn about to come on the 1500 tip bar chart. Okay, flush signal just come in. We've had exhaustion buying, bearish divergence on the 1500 tip bar chart here, and a cyclical turn now made on 45. We're a few minutes away from consumer confidence. Shouldn't really be taking a trade in front of that. Plus we got this support level, but it looked like it was going to get broken on the 15. This is really weak. I mean, it's not like there's anything going wrong. Everybody's waiting for the number to come out, so just short at 325. Let's see if I can manage to get this right. Oh well, there we go. Just got taken out at 99.25. Lucky call, I would say, on that one. So it's bang on 9 AM. Consumer confidence numbers come out. Obviously, it's not a goodie. And we just fell through. There we go. Now I've still got that 1 3/4 loss on the first trade I've got to make up, so gonna wait and see if I can pick off a re-entry point. That was nice. Just short at 98 even. And the reason for getting short here, we're coming up this cyclical turn, but trades like this where we have exhaustion selling and then a line, I'm just going to move my target to 96 even, try and get taken out. And when we get a line, we'll always get like a spike down, which we're just seeing at the moment. So let's just hold this for a second. There we go, taken out at 96 even for 2. Excellent. Gives me 4 1/4, 3 trades. So crappy first trade, shouldn't have taken it. The second one I got lucky, shouldn't have done it. And the third one, well, just a little 2-pointer at the end. So alright, and it's 9:03 AM. Good, done for the day. Hope you traded well.